All right. Well, proper good evening, everyone, wherever you are. Thank you very much for your patience and apologies for a slight delay. But I'm really glad to see so many of you tonight on this call. And wherever you are, whatever you were doing, you are really up for a treat today because today is not just another training session. Today is an absolute game changer for your business, for your mindset, and your bank account. Because we are really diving deep into what it truly takes to find unstoppable self-motivation, inject fire into your team, and build a culture that wins at the highest level. And to help us to unlock this next level of success, we have an incredible special guest tonight. He's a man who doesn't really need much of an introduction in our industry. He's a former professional athlete who took the elite discipline and brought it into a network marketing and built a massive global organization. He's an international keynote speaker, entrepreneur, and true motivation to all of us. So please, everyone, turn on your cameras and help me to welcome with fire emojis our global president of Zinzino, Marko Pasanante. Thank you, Marko, for joining us. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. Nice to be here. And again, sorry for the confusion of time. It was not intentional. I was late. I was thought it was same time as Scandinavia. So sorry about that misunderstanding.
No worries at all. We really appreciate you take your time to join us, team Zinzino Latvian team. And just to give you a little bit of summary, today on a call we have a bit of mix between Zinzino Latvian partners who are leading bigger teams, some of them smaller teams, and some of them just really starting the journey in Zinzino. So before we dive in and before I give you the virtual stage, I thought it would be nice if you could share with us a little bit of what was that thing, person, people, or moment perhaps that inspired you and helped you to create the blueprint to become a powerful motivational force you are today.
Yeah, I mean, many small moments, because the first thing was first time I saw the industry at 20 years old, and I went to my first big event, and there was this speaker called Anders. He was a captain for a big airline as well and successful in that company. And he talked about success, mindset, and that you could achieve big things and if you were willing to pay the price. And that was the first person who really inspired me where I felt, wow, I want to become more. I want to be like this man. I want to inspire people like this man inspired me. And I have to say, I was 20 years old. When I was 25, I made a decision. This is going to be my career path. And I went to my first event for that company, and a woman asked me, or actually from stage, she said, write down 10 things you wish your life was if there was no limitations. And one of the things I wrote down, I want to inspire people like Anders Östergren inspired me. I wrote that down, and then after the event, I looked at these things and tried to how can I become these things I wrote down and the lifestyle I wanted. And 4 years later, that's the power of visualization. 4 years later, I'm speaking at an event in Sweden, and one man I don't even know walked up to me. His name was Stefan. He's like, Marko, great speech. My name is Stefan. I've been in one company in the past in this industry, and you remind me of my favorite speaker in that company. And I said, okay, what was his name? What was the company? He said, the company name. I said, what was the man's name? And he said, Anders. And Anders Östergren. And sometimes when I tell a story, I still get goosebumps. Today, I didn't get goosebumps. Sometimes I still get it because there I really understood the power of kind of designing your future self. Who do you want to be? Because I think it starts there. Who do you want to be? Because I wanted to be like him when it came to inspiring people and helping people believe bigger and believe more like he did with me, right? So that was that moment that changed the whole direction for me. And he woken up something inside of me that changed the direction of my life for sure.
Beautiful. Well, definitely it's changed your life, and it's changing many, many people's life as you help them to achieve the next steps and next highlights and achievements. So we hope to get a little bit of that also tonight here. So Marko, I believe you have a short presentation to share with us today. Is that correct?
Yeah, because we're texting when we booked the meeting, right? What shall I share? I said, shall I share duplication and how to build something stable, how to build people up, how to build something long term that lasts in this industry. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about. And then we can do a Q&A after if you want. I'll do 30, 35 minutes, and then people can ask questions if they have some specific questions. Or how does that sound?
Sounds fantastic. Thank you, Marko. So this stage is yours.
Thank you. And I see some familiar, lovely faces here. Ivars, hello. I can see you here. And I can see some familiar faces, some lovely people in here. So nice to be here with you guys. I saw Zana before as well. I can't see her anymore here. But look at duplication. I see Elena as well. Hello, Elena. So if we look at duplication, just so you know, if you haven't heard my story, I started in this industry when I was 20 years old. I'm 43 now, so 23 years ago. And I was involved for 2 years. Then I was out. At 25, I made a decision that this is going to be my career path at 25. And I built one company for 5.5 years, and it was still growing when I walked away. I joined another company and did well again. And the day I resigned, it was still growing as well. So I built teams that I never really saw big declines. Of course, there's periods where there was no growth, 100%. But I always been focused on building people. Because in business, not only network marketing, every kind of business, I think people use people to build a business. I use the business to build the people. Because when I was 24 years old, again, if you haven't heard my story, my best friend shot himself at 24 years old. And I started asking myself questions, different kind of questions about, I mean, what's the meaning of life? And then what's the purpose of life? And I was going for to a job 10 hours a day, a big newspaper in Sweden. I was playing football every night in second division. And I was 25 or 24 when he shot himself. And for 5 years at the time, my life have been working, football, sleep. And after he passed away, I was kind of like, I need to do something with meaning. I want to build something for myself. I looked at different business models. And then 1 year later, I made a decision, this is going to be my career path. So I started analyzing 1-2 years in. I went full-time after 9 months. So it's 17 years in October I've been full-time. And I started studying people that have been in the same companies for decades. What were they doing? I have a book here from a man called Dexter Yager. He started with his company, and that company is still doing, it's called Amway. They're still doing, I don't know, what is 7-8 billion a year? And this man started with that company in the mid-60s. He was full-time with that company for almost 50 years. He passed away 2013, almost 50 years later. Today, 13 years after he passed away, his family has a huge income for what he created. And Zinzino, we know there's people in Zinzino been full-time for 20 years with Zinzino. Imagine when it's going to happen when people say, I've been 50 years with Zinzino, like this man. And that's what we have, the opportunity we have today. And I always want to help people win. And I see many people, of course, not winning. I think it's normal in life because this business is just like the gym. If you look at 100 people who sign up at the gym who need to lose 30 kilos, how many do it? I don't know, 2%, 3%, maybe 5 out of 100. It's not the gym's fault. And I think it's the same thing in business, right? Because in business, I think most often we don't have a business problem here if we're not winning. We have a mix of a psychology problem, mindset, and skills. Mindset and skills. That's two of the biggest problems I see. So I want to talk about how can we build something that lasts. I'm going to share some slides with you guys as well here. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
That,
The magic word of duplication, right? I think because when I study business, many of my close friends have traditional business as well. So if you look at traditional business, if you want to be effective in a way of looking at the business, how to win big, it's a lot about scalability. Can I scale the business and leverage, right? Because we all have 24 hours a day. And the good news is that we all start at the same point. When I signed up with Zinzino, it's going to be 10 years ago in August. In network marketing, direct sales, everybody starts at the top of nothing. When I signed up with Zinzino, I bought the starter kit, logged into back office, 0 customers, 0 people in my team. So we all start at the same point. And now, a decade later, I have 136,000 active customers, and I didn't do anything magical. I just focused on building people. So I think it starts with, as I said before, for you, where do you want to take this? Who do you want to be? How do you want to live? It starts there because if you have a bigger vision for your future and that drives you and you're really hungry to achieve that, I think you're willing to change, first of all, because I think a big problem for all of us, that is that wherever you go, there you are. And that's a problem. For me, it took me years to start winning here when I was young. Why? I was the big problem. My mindset was not right. I didn't have a good network. I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the confidence. So I was struggling because of me. So I need to grow. I need to develop. And just like the man who talked about big goals and aspirations, he said you can achieve big things if. There's always an if. Are you willing to work on yourself? Are you willing to grow your mindset, become good at the skills? But it starts there. Where do I want to go? And then it takes a long-term mindset, because achieving big things in life, it doesn't come for free. The kind of life you could live if you do a great job with Zinzino, it's amazing. But you don't get something for nothing, right? But at the end of the day, even if it took you 6, 7, 8 years to go Royal Crown, Black Crown, the lifestyle at that level, if you build this correctly, is amazing. And if you look at the first step after you decided what you want, you focus on long term, and then you're willing to grow and build the skills, the mindset. It starts with ownership. That if it's to be, it's up to me. If I have success or not, it's in my hands. And especially when it comes to building, I would say, building people, the biggest part, many ask me, Marko, you have a lot of people that you personally sponsor to hit higher ranks. You know where the magic happens? It's how you launch people and you take them from 0 to platinum, diamond. That's where the biggest part of leadership creation is made, because helping them go from 0 to break the 0, the first customer, the first partner, and then hit the fast starts, or maybe even miss the fast starts, and then over time go executive, platinum. 0 to executive is harder than executive to crown, because that's the hardest part, right? Because everything that's new, we're going to be bad. Everything that's new is uncomfortable. So can we be that shield on helping that person get over themselves in the beginning, right? Get over rejection, get over fear of failure, and working close with them in the beginning. So I want you to think about when you started a partner in the business. Were you focused on building better people, leaders, competent people? Or you just were helping them to produce, to get some customers? It's a big difference in mindset, how you think when it comes to that. Because what I focus often is, okay, I'm working with these people. Who's next? Am I developing producers or potential future leaders? And I look in my business and ask myself, if I disappeared for 90 days, who could confidently lead without me? Because I think that's a big part of the stability of business. How many independent people do you have that are working even if you're not there, that are leading their team, that are launching people correctly? Who in my team is ready for more responsibility, but maybe they haven't just developed it yet? I haven't helped them to develop it yet. So I want you to understand also the structure. As a global president, I am a global president, and if you are a silver today, what is the difference? The difference is structure. Credits, but it takes the structure, and this is also the mindset when it comes to scaling a business, right? Because if you look at the structure to the left, this is how many people build their Zinzino business. It's you sign up some people, and they get some customers. There's no intentional launch. There's no plan. You don't work. You don't drive them in the beginning. So you sign up people who more selling. I call them, you build a team of sales reps, right? Just salespeople who they sign up some partners. They maybe sign up some customers, but there's no structure, no systematic approach. So you build it wide. A lot of people maybe in the group, but the depth comes from a structure to the right, where you understand that you need 5 people to build an empire. But 5 people who are independent, 5 people I launched correctly. Because if you build it on just sales rep, I want you to think about, how do I take this sales rep and make them more like a sales manager, where they have sales reps under them, right? That's building a traditional business structure. So I'm visualizing from that perspective that, okay, sales rep versus a sales manager who can educate and launch other people and help other people get customers, get partners. Because this structure is a difference between having volume, hitting a rank, and then struggle for years to maintain that rank, versus building independent, educated, competent leaders. Because with competence comes confidence. And when confidence, they're willing to work even harder because they see it's possible, belief goes up. So I want you to think about the structure. Are you just building sales reps, or are you building people that can educate and grow others? Because this will make a huge difference long term. So because many sign up people and they think the job is done. When you sign up a new partner, that's when the job starts. So many spend time to find a partner to sign them up, and then they're just like, here's the educational video, look at that. We have a team call, and just join the team call. From day one, it's about, how am I launching them? And what is it that moves the needle, that creates results? What is it that we do if you look at it? What will grow their business? If I sign up somebody today, what is it that we do? How do I get a new partner? Of course, exposures, prospecting, reaching out, presenting. And if you're an entrepreneur, it's about you going out and creating it, right? My wife, she has a master in marketing. She used to work at Google, and then she had her own startup. She had her own tech company. She worked for free for 2 years. And then they had a venture capitalist firm that invested so they could take some salary. But you know what she said after a couple of months building that business? She said, it's just like building Zinzino. Every day I have to go out and chase potential investors and potential customers. And I just said, welcome to entrepreneurship, honey. That's how it is. An entrepreneur needs to wake up and go create and chase every day. And chase for me is something positive. It's meaning I'm taking ownership of my future by go out and create the right circumstances. Make sure I'm meeting the right people. I'm talking to the right people. That I'm reading the books. That I get the information. That I grow. It's in my hands. I'm not laying that in my future in the hands of anybody else. But how do we get people? Exposures. So if we present, then we do what? We recruit. And recruiting, if you're building a business, is fundamental, right? Because every organization out there, they're recruiting. Every good company again, my wife used to work at Google. Google, they want to find the best talent, right? Then hire the best talent. So they're recruiting. If you like sports, football teams, they are recruiting. They want to recruit great players, right? If they're a good team. If they're not a good team, they want to recruit players to become a better team. Churches, recruiting. Charities, recruiting. Are you recruiting? So I see myself in one way as a talent scout. I want to find good people that I like, that I want to build something with, and then I get to work with them, right? So what do we do to move the needle? We recruit. When we recruit somebody, we launch them. I hope you have a simple approach. I have a one-pager, ABC, how I launch them. Simplicity is the key here. And what we have on that, goal, plan, income-producing activities, invite, present, following up. How many meetings to hit the fast starts? Let's create your story. Let's book meetings now, book together. I launch with them. I do everything with you I want you to do without me, which is creating the list. We talk about the list. You played handball. Who was the stars in the team? You had a job. Who was the boss at the who was other people with great energy you liked at the job? How your former hairdresser? Were they ambitious? Were they outgoing? What kind of person was it? Have you been to a gym? Yeah. Do you know anybody there? So I help them work the list. Then we invite together. I role play with them, right? And then we present for the contact. I present for contact. I'm educating you. I'm doing this job with the newest person. Why? Because to create time, I have to invest time. And then it's about also keeping on inspiring and empowering them through stories, through event, through creating results, through team calls and everything. So I want to keep empowering them and inspiring them to believe bigger and see it's possible. And then next step, what do? We recruit, we launch them, we inspire them, empower them, then we equip them, which is educating them. And yes, books are great, but action is better. Because if I get you to invite and I present for your contacts, every time I'm presenting for your contacts, I'm reselling you the business. I'm reselling you on the test. I'm reselling you on Zinzino. And you hear me how I handle objections. So I'm educating you the best way, doing it that way. And then next one, of course, is identity expansion. Help them believe little bigger. And of course, work on personal development. Because if they want more, they have to become more, right? So once we get better results. So this is actions I do with a new that to find the newest exposures. How many meetings am I in every day? Recruit them, I launch them, I inspire them, then equip them by doing it with them, and then help them grow that identity. Because majority of people suffer from self-worthiness issues in some to a certain extent, right? So I help them see it's possible. So and this is what moves the needle and what I focus on. And when it comes to recruiting, I said before, you need 5 people to create an empire. When somebody asks me, Marko, how quick can I go diamond? Somebody have no experience. I always say, I have a code for that. 5, 15, 75. 5, 15, 75. Meaning to find my 5, if I launch people correctly, to find my 5 runners who's willing to run the play, I need to sponsor 15 people. Why 15? Because 1 out of 3 won't do anything. That's the average. 1 out of 3 won't do anything, no matter how good I am. 1 out of 3, maybe. Maybe they keep using the product, do something every now and then. 1 out of 3 will run the play. And there's safety in numbers, right? So to find 5 I'm active with right now, I need to get 15. And if I present to 5 people with a new person, on average, we get 1 new partner. So I know to get 15, I have to present to 5 times 15. That's 75 presentations to get the 15 on average. So if you're brand new, I say, what tempo do you want to do the first 75 presentations? Because that 90 days after that, we can get you to diamond. The problem in this industry is that many do one many per month. They do one a month. It's going to take you 75 months, 6 years to lay the foundation. And for most people, they give up if they don't see progress. That's why I want to compress the action. So if somebody would do 10 a day, we get there in 8 days, 5 a day, 16 days, right? One a day, we get in 75 days, we lay the foundation, almost 3 months, and then 3 months later, we could get you to diamond if I work with you. So 5, 15, 75 is what I focus on. Then I do the steps with them, right? So what actions in your organization will actually create momentum? These things here, this is what will actually move the needle. And if you look in your business, where are you busy versus productive? Because the best training, if somebody just want to drink coffee and talk all day long, I need another coaching. I need that. Great. Let's sit down, bring a goal, bring a list. Let's book meetings now. Because if I'm in meetings with you, I'm coaching you at the same time, but we also do income producing activities so you can see growth. So are we spending more time talking about success versus creating success? Because talking about success, we lose too many people. Most people don't have the patience to stay long enough for that. Of course, if somebody's in it for just getting customers, I just want to make 100 euros extra, that's different. But now I'm talking how you can create leadership, how you can create exponential growth in your business if you want to create a very successful business, which some of you want and some of you don't. Then what I say today, maybe just listen, learn it in case you need to share it with somebody you happen to come across that want to build up a successful big business. So my focus always is this. Who's next? Who am I pouring into right now? Meaning, who am I educating right now? Who am I driving? Because a new person, I need to tell them what to do, lead them to action. And then once we get them going, I'm focusing a lot on driving others in depth through others. So if I started Lisa, who started Zanne, I did the onboarding with her. I presented for Zanne. Now Zanne signed up with Lisa. I will also do the get started meeting with Zanne. Lisa is with me. I will do it a couple of times. And then if Zanne invites somebody, maybe Lisa do that presentation and Zanne starts somebody. And now Lisa is doing the onboarding, the launch meeting with Zanne's new partner. Inspect what you expect means I talk to Lisa and I say, Lisa, you're going to do your first get started training tomorrow. Let's you and me talk before. I want you to walk me through what you're going to cover. Let's pretend I'm your new partner. And then I have her do an onboarding meeting with me on me, and I can give her feedback. And that's how I can lead somebody to the right action with others. And then I educate them that way. And then when they have a couple of people, I look in my back office and I reach out to Lisa. And I say, Lisa, I see you and Zanne. You have 4 or 5 new partners the last days. Tell me who launched them and how did you launch them? This is what I mean with inspect what I expect. So I'm teaching Lisa, but then when she's going to do it with others, I'm asking questions to kind of inspect for the behaviors I expect if she wants to create results. And this is how I can create duplication depth and the right behaviors. So I create independent, confident people who can go out and lead others or help others launch. And then I prepare them as well, which means if Lisa is new today, I will tell her, Lisa, you're going to be so bad at this in the beginning. The first invitation is going to be uncomfortable. You're going to burn most of the contacts in the beginning. That's okay. Happened to me as well. I was terrible in the beginning. And then we talk about, again, then we do the steps together. But I prepare her that she will be bad. And I tell her to take away the pressure. Lisa, you booked 5 meetings for next week we're going to do together. If they are interested or not, it doesn't matter, Lisa. This is a long-term project. My goal is to educate you in these meetings. If they're interested or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So leading people is, of course, what do they want? And then, of course, they give a commitment. But my job as a leader is, of course, inspiring, empowering them, but then hold them accountable to what they promised themselves. And that's how I drive people in depth and give clear instructions, right? So do you leave people clearer and more activated after you have talked to them? And are we creating action or just emotional excitement? Because we can make you excited for the day, but are we creating action as well? So this is a couple of things I focus on. And then the focus is always how many in my team can invite if I'm not there, present when I'm not there, launch people correctly, lead people to action, do the goals, do a plan, have them invite, present with them, tell people what to do, because a new person needs to be told what to do in the beginning, because or else they don't know. They're brand new. And then how many can lead that person's team through them? Like I said, I run Lisa's team through Lisa. Help her with meetings and everything, but I want to run the team and make her the star there. So this is things I look at to create a long-term stable business that can continue to grow. Because at the end of the day, we have to close the leadership gap. The leadership gap in our business is volume and leadership. If we create volume to a certain level, it goes up. If leadership doesn't go up, volume will come down and come down to the level of leadership in our group. So how do we grow leaders? How do we grow people? If volume dropped, where would the leadership meet? Where does it stop the gap? How big is the gap between your volume and leadership in your group? How much in my organization is actually independent and stable? Am I building a rank, or I'm building a team with leaders who can sustain a rank? Because that's a different ballgame. Building competent and confident people by doing what? Launching them correctly, be there for them in the beginning, and step by step together build a confident person who become a better communicator, better presenting, inviting. There's no magic here, but I can promise you one thing. If you do that well, the reward will be amazing, because there's no other business in the world you can scale like you can scale this business without investing a lot of money. But it starts with us. It starts with us being consistent, growing the skills. And the good news is I'm a global president, so I can sign on one thing, and that is that you don't have to be special to win big. You just have to be more committed than most others, willing to work on yourself and realize that you are the project. Because wherever you go, there you are. And when you have a supportive, winning self, you will win. And at the end of the day, it's important you build this. You find a way where this become a positive pull instead of a negative push. Because a negative push is just filled with anxiety. But if you focus on growth and goal, it will help. But when growth is even bigger than goal, because my goal is activity. If your goal is to do 5 meetings a week in May, and your goal is diamond, and you did 5 meetings a week in May, but you missed diamond, that's a successful month, because you stick to activity you did. And we can control the controllables, which is we can control what we do. I cannot control the outcome of that meeting always, right? I can make sure I'm better, so the odds are better that I will get a new partner or customer by doing the presentation. But at the end of the day, it's a lot about timing and everything in that person's life as well. But again, if you become really good at this, it's a bigger chance they will be interested. So find a way where you go out and share, from your heart, share you with the world from the heart. because no matter who you are, what you believe in, there will be people who won't like you and won't believe in what you believe in. And that's okay. Just be yourself and you attract the right people for the right reasons. And then you become more effortless, because life can be quite easy if we make it easy. For me, this is not work. I work harder than ever. Why? Because I believe when you become really good at this, success here is about climbing the ladder, but then turn around and reach out the hand. Because here, when you become a somebody, you can be that special somebody for that needing somebody. Give them the tools, help them, push them a little, for them to challenge them a little, to think a little bigger, act a little bigger, and they can totally change their life. That's doable. And it doesn't matter who you are. It just matters who you become and what you do. That was a couple of my
wow. That
cents
was powerful, Marko. Thank you very much. And I was scribbling along as you were speaking, and I think there's something for everyone to resonate and take away, and action, as you said. And as you were talking, you often mention the words this or that. So it made me think about this very quick, maybe a summary. And maybe if I say two words, one or this or that, and you say which one would you say is the key one? Let's play that game.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. So this or that, discipline or motivation?
We know the answer, right? I mean, if I needed motivation, I would not be here today. I can promise you that. Motivation is just moments. Happiness in life is moments. Discipline, that's eternal. Because if you create to-do list, you just get it done, what you need to do. That's how winning is done.
Fantastic. Quantity versus quality.
Mix.
Tricky one.
You need both. But if you have to choose quantity. Because quantity, if you analyze and work on becoming better as well, then quantity always wins, because quality comes with quantity.
Amazing. And well, you kind of answered that. Busy versus productive. I think you kind of answered that one.
But we can always play with words, right? Because busy versus productive, if you stay very busy in the right stuff, you become productive, right?
Fantastic. Yes, absolutely. Well,
but fewer of the best action than being busy doing just blah, blah, blah. It's always better, right?
Absolutely. Well, as you said, and there is absolutely, all of us need to create those circumstances for opportunities and to shape the business in the direction as we want. So thank you very much. I'm conscious of the time, but guys on the chat, do we have any questions to Marko before we sum it up? Please feel free to drop it in a chat, and while we are waiting for the questions.
Remember, there is no stupid questions. It's only stupid answers. So the pressure is on me.
Well, while we are waiting for the questions to come, actually, I would love to hear your thoughts on rejection, Marko. So obviously, that is quite a lot what we are getting and receiving time to time in the industry. So how do you mentally reframe no so it fuels you instead of stopping you?
I don't have to reframe it, because I just let it go. Somebody says no, they are missing out. If you know what you have and you say no to me, you're missing out. Your life will be better off if you're part of the Zinzino community. You see good people doing good things. You miss out on that. Your problem, not mine. I don't want to do the test. Go do the test then. It's your health, it's your future. Fine, thank you. Ciao. Just release it. Who cares? Because you have to be a person who expects more no's than yes. So I go into every day, I know I'm going to get rejection. You have to just learn to dance through them. Many is like rejection. Oh, rejection. Me, I just dance through it. The rejection to the left, a step to the right, and the dance around them. Yep, that's another one. That's another person who has no clue what they're missing. But that's fine, because I don't need them. If they start, they need me. Because they don't know this, I know this. So if they would start, I would invest my time in them. So if I don't invest in them, I invest in somebody else. So it's a mindset behind what you the value as well with yourself. You say no, fine, next. Who cares? You're the one missing out. I don't miss out because you said no. That's why you should control it to talk to enough people. Low tempo, you talk to one person every 12th day. Yeah, then every no is tough because you didn't see a yes for 6 months because you talk to one person every 12th day.
Yeah, love it. Let it go and dance it through. That's what I noted. I'm looking at the questions starting to come in. So from Yulia, what do you think is the biggest mistake people make when building the business long term?
I mean, the opposite. They look at results after 1 month, 2 months. And that's why when I start somebody, when I was new and I had a job when I was 25, I made one commitment. I'm going to give it 7 presentations per week for potential business prospects every week for 1 year. Then I know if it works or not. So most people, they look too much at the results versus the activity because it's the activities that will make you better. And when you get better results for the same activities. So you have to do it badly many times until you become good. So I just tell them to allow themselves to be bad many times, because every time you're bad and you do it and we do it together, you become a little better, a little more confident. So they look at too short term in terms of results. So the mistake they do is they look too quick at results. Rome wasn't built in 1 day, and the lifestyle you can create here won't happen in 3 months.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Another question from Nora. So if you are approaching
we
a call...
miss Yekaterina as well. We miss Yekaterina. I see her. I would go for a network event with purpose to look for new prospects. Right. Give me advice, please, how to make best out of it. Believe it or not, I'm not the guy to go to networking events. I hate it. I am more introvert than people think. With new people to open a conversation, it's so tough for me. So if I ever go to a network event or stuff, or a dinner, a gala dinner, or a charity, whatever, it takes me a long time to talk to somebody. My wife is the opposite. She just flies and, oh, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. I'm always like stuck by myself for a while because it takes time to get unstuck. So I hate networking events. But if you're going to strike a conversation, I learned a system how I can open conversations with people. So if I'm in a coffee place, I know I learned what questions to ask. Meaning, I go to a coffee place, I see Lisa or somebody sitting there. I look for somebody who looks sharp if I'm going to open conversation. And I see somebody, okay, she looks sharp. And then I look what she has. Maybe she has the coffee or tea. And I take the seat close. And I say, excuse me, I'm thinking if I should have a coffee or tea. I see you have the tea here. What tea was that? How was it? Was it good? Would you recommend it? Just to open a conversation. Just a question. You have a cinnamon bun. How's the bun? Was it good? Okay. But I'm thinking if I should have one or not. Thank you very much. Don't say anything more. Go buy it, come back. Then I said, the bun you recommended was actually really good. Or I took the coffee instead of tea. And then, where are you from? Natural question. Where are you from? If they don't ask me a question back, where are you from? We're not talking naturally. Maybe ask one more question. If they're not open-minded, I don't ask a third question because they're not open right now, the wrong timing. So I make it flow naturally, but I prepare what questions I'm going to ask because my confidence in those moments come from knowing what to ask. Because if I don't have a plan there, it's like, oh, I end up, because I'm shy there, I end up look at my phone, right? That's an escape because I'm so uncomfortable. So I need it as well. So I need a system for what questions to ask. So I would just ask, open conversations without intention to prospect them. If we talk back and forth, this is how I would prospect them. We talk 4 or 5 times back and forth, and then I would just say, I'm leaving. We say I met Zana at the coffee place. We talked, and she said, yeah, I'm here. I live in Dubai, and then she's like, I'm just here for work or whatever, or vacation, and we talk back and forth. I would say, Zana, I have to leave. It was very nice to meet you. Zana, you gave me a great impression. I'm expanding a business in Europe right now, and you live in Latvia, and I'm expanding a business in Europe right now. I'm looking for the right people. I'm building a franchise out of e-commerce business. We have a revolutionary health technology. We're looking for right people. You gave me a great impression. If you're open for new opportunities, I would be willing to meet you for a Zoom to talk business. That's how I would invite. Of course, if I meet somebody and Zana would say, yeah, I'm a chiropractor, then of course I could lead more with a product. But most often I lead with a business with strangers there. So that's how I would invite.
Thank you, Marko. I think we have quite few questions.
Next one for Nora was, if approaching cold contacts on the first call, do you usually do a full presentation or have more chat format? I mean, if I invited Zane that way, the first call, one is build rapport. What do you do? How did you end up doing that, Zane? Why were you open to come on this call to look at the business or opportunity? So ask the questions, and then I would do the presentation there. You could also do a short intro call that leads to a video that leads to a yes, but the caliber of prospects, if you go for a little higher calibers, I would never send a video to them. If I prospected 3 that day and I don't know the quality of them, yeah, I could have a short talk, qualify them with a video, yes. But quality caliber, business different conversation. I want to adjust the conversation to that personality as well, because I want to know why would they look, and then I can adjust my conversation to their personality. Meaning, I want to show them why this is a business that can give them what they want.
Okay. So actually linked a question a little bit in terms of conversation and building connection online. There's a question, if you have any tips how to build something online if there are geographical limits, meet face-to-face. So if you have any advice on that, Marko, please.
Yeah, I mean, again, there, open conversations with people. Maybe have a structure, you open 8 conversations a day, 5 conversations a day, 10. And open conversation can be different ways. Some can be direct approach, similar as I invite direct, but often you can also comment on a picture. You can be a little intentional, maybe find somebody of similar interest as you, and then say, hey, Linda, I saw your profile, I saw you're into health, and you work with a business or whatever. I saw you're entrepreneurial and you work with within health. What exactly do you do? Because I saw your profile, it seems like we have a lot of common ground. Something like that, just find a way to open conversation, or you could go to your city and write hashtag Riga, hashtag yoga Riga, hashtag find somebody to have common interest, and then open conversation based on that. That's one way that many do. Works, open conversation, and then back and forth, and then come with invitation. But also you can come with invitation directly. Then I would write, I saw, Linda, I came across your profile. I saw you work within health. And based on your profile, you could be the right personality on what we're looking for. I'm expanding a business, building a franchise or e-commerce business. We have a revolution health technology. We're expanding in Latvia right now. If you're open for new opportunities, we could meet for a Zoom and talk. That more qualifies people, right? Because then I qualify people are not open. Many won't respond. Some will respond. If they're hungry, curious, they will respond. But online, I would not use online my first 90 days in the business. If I launch Lisa today, I would look at our social media and I would say, let's work your list. In the first 2-3 months, start posting regularly. Because if you have one post you did 2 years ago and you reach out to strangers online, they won't respond. Because you have 1-2 posts and you haven't posted for 1.5 years. It's like, who's this person? Is it a AI person? Is this real? So build some credibility. So when they come to your profile, if you text them, they will look at your profile. Make sure you look attractive or serious or professional, without revealing everything you do, because then they will just Google and you kill the prospect.
So we actually nicely circled back to ourselves, right? Because everything starts with ourselves and how we invest in ourselves. I'm conscious of time, but before we close, I would love to get your take on, Marko, on what is your ultimate vision for Zinzino over the next years that you think you can share with us here today and could get everyone excited for the upcoming future?
I mean, Zinzino that is on the trajectory to build something legendary for sure. Their goal to be the biggest preventative health company in the world. Big chance they will do it. 100 million customers, 2050, doable for sure. So Zinzino's future is super bright. I think it's once in a lifetime opportunity for people to really go out and make a huge impact, help people with health, but also build a financial wall around their families. I mean, they want us to be wealthy with them. I mean, just a generous share of it. Go president, you get 200,000, elite president, 300,000, global president, 500,000, and every rank after that, 500,000. I got 500,000 to my share account last year. Boom. This year I get another 500,000 for global. Boop, straight to my share account. And imagine the share, 2018, I think it was down to 8 kroner or something. What is that? It's up what? 18 times since 2018? Since the low point there. So imagine if you get 1 million, 500,000, and it goes up 10x over the next 5 to 10 years, there's a big chance it does, right? Where are you going to have the chance to go out and get 1 million and 10x that and get 10 million, 20 million? When are you going to? I'm not saying you want that even, but when are you going to get the chance? And if you look at to get that, it's only about serving people. It's just a recipe how many people you've helped. That's why making money here, you should be proud of making money here because you should be paid well when you do something well. And here we're serving people, we're helping people with health. People are better off because of us. So the future for me personally is just to see how far I can take myself. How much can I grow? How happy can I be? How many people can I help? Because already now our team, we have so many people that are doing very well. We built schools in India to help kids off the streets, to give them. So it's like make an impact in the world and be an example of good things and be a force for good in this world and be an example of that and raise better human beings. Because we need real leaders because we have too many misleaders who just say what people want to hear to sell them. So just be that's a passion. Just help people grow, develop. And if we do that well, I say it often, I don't care to be the biggest, but I know we will build the biggest team this profession ever seen. Not because we're special, but because we are big passion of what we do, willing to work hard and just help people grow, develop, and then we'll make Zinzino the biggest one of the biggest companies on this planet. That's also doable.
Thank you, Marko. I think it's a very beautiful point to end our call today. You are truly inspiring all of us on this call today and leaving us with a lot of things to reflect and take on for the actions going forward in shaping our future and others. So thank you very much, Marko, once again, and on behalf of everyone from Latvian Zinzino team, pleasure hosting the call today, and hopefully next trip will be to Latvia as well sometime, so we can all greet you face to face.
Now I know at least you don't have the same time zone as Europe, rest of Europe.
Yes.
One last thing, because people are asking for the one page. I'll share my one page when I launch somebody here.
Fantastic.
Where is that? Here it is. Only thing I use when I launch somebody. Yes, I have a get started video, so people watch a 20-minute get started video where I have them to take notes, and then they're going to share the key takeaways with me. So next meeting, the day after, preferably, we can lead them to action directly. And if you don't have a short get started video, just create one, which is according to your get started steps. And then you have get started videos within Zinzino on Zinzino Play as well, right? On the first steps. So yeah, thank you. Hopefully it gave some value. And
absolutely,
if your enroller, your sponsor doing well, and they work opposite way of me, remember, there's not only one way to Rome.
Thank you, Marko.